Hello! Happy Wednesday, everyone! Thank you for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. And I am here on Facebook Live every evening, every weeknight evening from 8:30 p.m. to about 9:30 p.m. We're here about an hour every night, and we work on a project from start to finish. So no matter how long it takes, we are going to go through the entire process of the project, and you can ask your questions along the way. So it's fun. It's a fun time for us to chit chat and hang out. We are working on the Charming Chevrons quilt here by Krista Watson of Krista Quilts. The link for the pattern is in the Facebook post here. The replay of this will go up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies, so you can check it out there as well when we're done here tonight. So thanks for joining again. We got done with row number 1 last night. So here we are. We got our zigzags, our pretty red background and our zigzags. So we did all of row 1. We kind of talked though a little bit about, ooh, I'm tangled, a little bit about this other way of piecing. So instead of piecing in a row, like just all of row 1 and then doing all of row 2 and all of row 3, we talked about maybe this web way of working where you sew all the vertical pieces. So like row 1, the first block, row 2, the first block, row 3, the first block, and then just keeping on adding, and then you kind of have a whole connected quilt. And I wanted to try that with this quilt, but I don't have room to put like all 11 rows out to pick from. But today I was thinking, man, I'd still like to try that. So what if instead of doing all 11 rows all at once, I could split it into 4. So I think that I could do. So we are going to give that web thing a try. So we have row 1 done. We can set that aside. And now I'll split the remaining, it's the remaining 10 rows. So maybe we'll do 5. I'll split the remaining 10 rows into 2 groups of 5. So 2 through 6 and the rest, or 2 through, yeah, and then 7 through 11. And we will do that web way of working. So I'll have that middle section and then I'll have the bottom section, just because I think that's what I can lay out here without a design wall, without a big working space. So this is probably really confusing, but I think it'll make sense once we start going. And I think it'll be really kind of fun to see. Our quilt will kind of all be connected with little mini chain, little chain bits connecting it from the little pieces of sewing thread. So we'll give it a try. So, all right, that is the plan for tonight. Yeah, I haven't done this before, Gretchen, and I'm kind of going on memory, so we'll see how it goes. But I think it's going to be kind of fun and just something different we can try tonight. So, all right, I'm going to flip you around. We'll get cracking here. All right, sewing machine's ready. So here is my piles. So this is piles 2 through 11. So to do this, normally I would have all the rows laid out. But since, I'm working with this amount of space, I think I'm going to just we'll go 2, 3, 4. Oh man, I still would like to try and do, maybe if we zigzag like this, 4, 5, 6. So we have 5 rows here. The rest, I'm just going to put to the side, just because that's just too much. Too much for my little space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the first blocks from each row. So we'll go one at a time. I am going to unclip these for now. Let's put I want to remember what rows they are though, so I'm going to clip just onto the first deal. So right now my Wonder Clips are holding the whole pack together. I'm just adjusting that really quickly now so it's just holding the first block, because I don't want to forget that that's row 4 and row 5. All right, so I'm going to pick the first 2 off of number 2, and I'm going to sew those 2 together. So once those 2 are sewn together, I'm going to keep chain piecing. So then I'll do the first 2 of this row. Then I'll do the first 2 of this row, then the first 2, then the first 2. Then we'll snip it, and we'll start over. Then we'll sew this guy on, we'll sew them on one at a time after that. I just have to keep them in this order, and I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over and over again. And I think we will just have a quilt starting, and I think it's going to be kind of fun. So I haven't done this before. I've seen it online, but I think it'll be a fun way to keep the whole quilt together at all times, which is kind of goofy, but exciting at the same time versus doing like row by row by row. Upon catching up, you discovered, oh, you're 4 blocks short. Oh no. Oh, your 3-year-old's doing. Oh, maybe they'll show up underneath the bed or something at some point. So, all right, I'm starting out again like we did last night. I'm matching up the rows here as best I can, and then just putting a clip to hold it in place. You could do that pin method that we did last night to super perfectly match up the points, but I am not worrying about it so much. We're just gonna match up edges and go that way. All right, so this is the first one. This is row 2, because we already have row 1 completed. So row 2, block number first block, like block A. All right, let's move that guy out of the way. So I'm aiming for the point of that little red triangle that's popping out there. Just left to that point, actually. All right, we are there. And then I'm just gonna match up these ends. Stick my little stiletto in there to keep it all in place, and we'll keep going. Okay, so that is the first one. So now, I'll just shimmy over here again. Now we're gonna take the top 2 off of the next row. So I just gotta remember that I'm zigzagging here. So 2 of those. Yeah, that was on the top. So this is our next block here. And I think this will really start, you'll get the idea of this once we go through the first round of this and then we start adding. I think you'll start to see how we're making like this full quilt, keeping all our rows connected without finishing the rows. I think it's going to be kind of fun, although maybe it'll get just bulky and difficult, so maybe we'll go back to doing it row by row, but I don't know, we're giving it a try. I haven't done this before, this method. But I think once we get a little further, you'll get an idea of why it seems fun. Because you can kind of keep everything together, which is good, especially if you are worried about messing up your rows, like which row is which. In this way, they're all together. Except we're going to be doing half and half, just because I don't have the space to do all of them. All right, match up these bottom ends. Okay, so now I'm going to take, I'll just show you guys again. Do you have to move the tags back onto the piles? I'm not, just because I want the first row, the first one in the row marked. So I want to keep this here. It would probably be helpful if I put just some temporary numbers here. I don't have any paper by me, but I could put like a 2 here and then just whenever I take something, put it back. That might be helpful. But I'm just going to try and remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, an extra little number would be helpful. All right, so taking the top 2 off of there. Next up. Yeah, that's what I'm a little worried about, Lucy. It'll be fun, but ultimately we're going to have a lot of bulk here. So it's almost as if we're sewing a whole, like if we have the whole quilt top done and, you know, in our way and all that. So this might not actually be the best idea for my little space here. But I thought we'd give it a go. I think it's going to be kind of fun. But yeah, maybe maybe for the rest of the rows, maybe we'll just keep doing it the individual rows at a time. Ooh, now these are not the same size. Ah, well, close enough. So I was just thinking of something. We are going to be dealing with these V's. And remember how we flipped around the V last night, so we were always starting on a red side? I'm not sure we'll be able to do that as easily here. Or we'll have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go back up. But I don't know. I think let's just stay in order so I don't confuse myself tonight. All right, next up is row 5. Yes, row 1 is done, so that's out of the scenario here. So we're just doing 2 through 6, giving that a go in this little fun way of doing it. But yeah, so, you know, the whole quilt won't be all together. We'll still have separate rows to put together, but they're labeled, so I don't think I'll confuse myself. I may have to check how many things are on my sewing machine just so I don't accidentally grab from the wrong pile, like so I don't grab from like row 4 instead of row 5 sort of scenario. So I'll have to keep that in check tonight. All right, so one more, and so this is the row 6, and then we'll try just where we add right on. I think it's gonna be kind of fun. Ooh, that one got pressed close again on me. Oh, hey, Krista. Oh, you like how the red looks? Oh, it makes me want to do another one. Oh my gosh, Krista, that's what I think when I see everyone's variations in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group on Facebook. They're just like so many different ones. Then I'm like, oh, I want to do a deep navy blue, or I want to do a patterned background for the back, or I want just like really pretty, sweet little subtle colors. And man, I want to make a new one every time I see one. Oh, Joe, you finished sewing yours together tonight. Amazing. That is so amazing. I hope you love it. All right, so now I'm going to throw an ender on this. We're going to snip this off, and then we're going to start up the next, like the third piece of each row. So we have 2 pieces on each row now. Now we're going to add a third. Oh, you're free motion quilting tonight. Oh, yay. Thanks, Krista. I appreciate it. Always can use some good sewing juju vibes. All right, so now we have our blocks. This is row 2, and they're all connected like this, right? So we are going to keep them connected. That's the trick for this way of doing it. So all of our rows are connected. So instead of snipping them apart, I'm going to just take the next block and sew it on. So we are starting from that triangle or that angled area, which is going to make it a little more difficult to match up right away. In theory, I could turn this whole thing around and instead of starting on row 2, start from the bottom and work my way up. But again, I think I'm not ready to get that confused yet before I get too far. So let's just continue here. So I'm going to match up this number 3 piece of row 2. I can already tell that this is going to be a bulky mess really quickly here. But I'm excited to see what it's going to look like when we're done. After the value lesson, you can step back and see your colors in your quilt for the first time and you love it. Oh, Gretchen, for cool. That is So exciting. I'm excited to play around with all that value too, and I feel like I'm definitely thinking more about value as well in a quilt. And I'm seeing it more. Like, I'm seeing how much I didn't rely on value earlier in lots of my other projects, and how much I could have improved on those if I was thinking about that. So I'm really excited for like the next projects coming up where I can focus on that more. But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm really happy with that too. So good. I'm glad you got something out of that. That was fun. I'd like to do more little videos like that too. All right, so our row 3 just popped up here, right? So I am going to grab row 3. Louise, I think I could start at 6 and come back up, and I might do that next time. So the next row, like the unit or the number 4 piece, that will be okay again because it's the other part of the V, but I think the next one I might flip around and give that a try, Louise. All right, so this piece goes here. When we're done tonight, when I flip the camera back around, I will show you this, and it's going to be fun because I'll be able to hold this up and it will almost be together as a quilt already, which is just, that's kind of the fun little trick of sewing it this way, I think, by keeping everything together. Oh, I did not match that well. Yeah, I think next time we'll try flipping this around. It'll confuse me a little, but I'll go through once like I am now in a non-confusing way. All right, and then matching up the other half. Oh, so fun that you're doing webbing, and oh, you just did a quilt! Oh, like this that you're filming on Crafty next week. Awesome! That's exciting. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Yeah, I had seen this before, this webbing style of doing it. Oh man, I'm way off there. But I hadn't done it on a project, so this is just kind of like the perfect project to try it on, because you have, you know, the similar pieces that you can just keep going through. So I'm really excited. I think it'll be fun to see it all. I mean, again, I'm just doing half because I can only lay out, in my little space here, I can only lay out the 5 rows. I mean, I could probably lay out all 11, but I think I'd get super confused. Yeah, batiks and black, that sounds like it's amazing. Yes, I can't wait to see too, Joe. Yeah, if any of you guys want to share progress on this project, or really any project that you're working on, whether it's a penguin and fish project or a project that we've done here or not, I'd love to see it shared over in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group here on Facebook. Ooh, I kind of feel like machine was eating that a little. So I was going to bring my machine in today because, you know, I have that belt issue. I have those cracks in the belt that we discovered last time we cleaned this. I think I'm going to wait till Saturday just because then I feel a little bit more confident, and if I have to leave my machine there, I have to do a lot of, during the week, this week, I'm using the machine quite a bit, so I was a little nervous about them just taking my machine. I had it all taken apart and ready to bring over there, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is the right time. So on Saturday, though, I'm going to bring this guy over, and we'll get that new belt in there, or hopefully, or they'll order it or something. So that's the plan. But I spent all afternoon at the Apple Store, which was a blast. My phone that I use an iPhone to film this, the camera on it all of a sudden got super weird. Like, it was almost half and half. So like half of the screen was purple, and then there was like one little streak like a pixel streak, and then the other half was normal. And it turned out to be they had to replace the camera. They had to actually replace the camera in the phone, which they could do on site, which I was surprised. So they did it in an hour, or like an hour and a half, and during that hour I went out to eat with the hubs, and that was nice. So, and it wasn't, I thought I would have to get a whole new phone, and I was not happy at all. Because, it's right after, like, AppleCare runs out, too, right? Oh, I was so mad. But all it was, it was a hardware fix. Like, they had to take the phone apart or something and put in a new camera, but they were able to do that on site and within an hour, and I left happy. There's no way I thought they would do that all at once while I was there. So, super happy about that. But man, I did not know what I was going to do. Last night I used my husband's phone to shoot this Facebook Live, and I don't think he was really happy that he didn't have his phone for an hour, So we did not have to get a new phone, which thank God, because these puppies ain't cheap, right? But I got a new camera in here, I guess, or a new lens, not a new whole camera. I think they had to pop the lens out or something and stick a new one in, something like that. And it still cost money, but it didn't cost the amount of a new phone. Did you ever adjust the pressure on the presser foot? Oh, I did. I did for the. I played with the presser foot change when we did all that jean quilting on the hedgehog wall hanging quilt that I'm working on, and it worked like a charm. Sharon, it was awesome, and I'm so excited that I know about that now, and we may actually be using that again soon, because Friday is the first Friday of the month, which means it's Finish It Friday. So I will be pulling out we'll be stopping working on this project. Finish It Friday is our chance, the first Friday of every month. It's our chance to stop whatever we're working on, pull out one of those projects that are unfinished, and spend an hour working on that instead of whatever is currently on your machine, or currently what you're working on, or currently on a schedule. Is just taking a break from that. So on Friday, I will be getting the hedgehog out again. I'm going to be cutting the strips for the binding and pressing it. I don't think we'll get all the way to the point of sewing the binding on, but so that'll probably be, April, the first Friday in April, we'll sew it on. But then I will probably adjust that pressure again. So that was pretty cool. All right, so that is row 3. I wonder how we're doing on our points. I haven't really been checking. Yeah, that one's not great. Ooh, but that's looking good. That point looks nice. So I'm kind of hit and miss with my points. Ooh, dang, that's a perfect point right there. But I'm okay with that. So, all right, now I'm pulling all the way back to my row number 2 again. We'll snip this guy off. All right, so there we go. We got 3 on now. So now we need the 4th piece from each row. So we're just keeping on adding on here. So let's do it. Oh, you're hand quilting your I Love Home quilt. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I'm excited. Man, that's on my unfinished UFO unfinished object list now too. That I'm waiting till after this project, because I'm hoping I'll be able to free motion quilt in some fashion after all the practice we'll have on this quilt. So then I'm hoping to, I don't know, be a little decorative or something on the I Love Home, like, frame all little houses, or do little clouds in the houses, or something, and then put pretty decorative borders around each house. I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited to do something a little fancy for me. Or, treating each area as their own area, I guess, is probably more accurate way of talking about that. But yeah, so I'm hoping to learn on this quilt and then execute on the I Love Home quilt. You got pink thread and it needed to finish your heart applique while hanging. Oh, cute. Oh yeah, pull that out for Finish It Friday. That's a good idea. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at how much further I'm getting on that quilt, that wall hanging, by just doing it on these little Fridays once a month, like 1 hour in every month, and I feel like I'm making progress on that. So it doesn't take much to feel like progress has been made, so that's been kind of exciting. But yeah, so on Friday we will cut the binding. At least I'm hoping to cut and sew together the binding pieces. I have to actually measure how much binding I need as well. Hopefully we can press it, because you got to press that whole length of the binding in half. I'm hoping we can get that done in the hour or two, but I don't think we'll have time to attach it. So we'll roll it up, and that will be the Friday, the next first Friday, I'm thinking. So in April. So I'm thinking I probably won't, unless something comes up and we can't, I don't know, for some reason work on this. I don't know what that would be. But maybe we'll break it out a little earlier than April. But my guess is that the first Friday in April is probably going to come up real quick. But we should be able to sew the binding on in one sitting, and then the next first Friday we can finish hand stitching the back of the binding. I think that'll probably be the plan. How long will you practice free motion quilting? Oh, I'll just practice like for 2 seconds, and then I'm going straight to this quilt. I'm okay with not being perfect on this quilt. I'll just have like a little piece just to get started, just to check. I just want to get my tension right and maybe just get a feel of it, but I'm hoping to jump right in and work on the pieces. And if it's all over the place, I'm okay. As long as the tension and everything is good, I'm fine. I want to see learning progress on this, so I'm not going to practice and practice and practice before jumping in here. I'm gonna get onto this quilt real quick. You found hand quilting easier without a hoop. Oh yeah, I do hand quilting without a quilt too. Perfect plan. Dive in and practice on real quilts. Exactly. Well, that's why I'm so excited about this quilt, because I can practice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to free motion quilt within my pattern check, and I'm going to leave I think the red unquilted, except for maybe I'll do like a little echoed line of the ditch. I'm going to stitch in the ditch of all the guys first, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to free motion within the patterned areas. And so I have a chance to improve with each zigzag is kind of my plan, or improve / try another design. And it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like, I'm excited to be like, hey, this is the first row I did. Look how crazy that looks, but look at this last row, how amazing and beautiful it is. At least that's what I'm hoping to get that far. I'm hoping to get to amazing and beautiful. How about that? I wonder if I can get there in one quilt. We'll see. That's what I'm shooting for, though. But yeah, I'm ready to just dig into that for sure. Okay, I can tell that point's not going to be great, but oh well. So this isn't all that annoying. Like, I thought I was going to be, with all these pieces all connected like this, I thought it was just going to get really fumbly, but really it's not so far, although I am only like 4 pieces in. Oh, I'm sorry, Alicia. Oh, that's not nice. Oh, sending good vibes your way. Ugh, that's a lot to deal with for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. No fun. Sending sparkles. Yep. Any idea what patterns you will try? You need to check the book. I would like to try a whole bunch. I mean, you know, there's just meandering. I think I need to do that because I'm just so afraid of it. I'm afraid of getting stuck in a corner and not being able to work my way out of it in a unified, pretty way. So I definitely need to do that. I'd like to do just like the swirls, the plain swirls. I think that'll be fun. I like the where you just go up and down. I think all three of those will be good beginning ones. Ooh, maybe we'll even do the pebbles where you do the circles and the circles and circles. That would be another thing to like, how do you get in a space and out of a space? I think that's what I'm most scared about. I mean, but I'd like to get fancy too. Like I'd love to, you know, we could do stars or all over textures are your favorite. Oh, I love those too, Krista. But, you know, maybe once we get to like row number 10 or something, maybe we want to try some sort of vine with leaves or, you know, get a little fancy or something. We'll start simple. Uh-oh, something's going wrong here, and I suspect we have no bobbin thread left. Ah, boo! Okay, well, time for a break, I suppose. I'm going to pop my bobbin out here, which is not always easy underneath my table. All right, well, at least I wasn't sewing the whole rest of it. Yeah, feathers, I'd like to try that too. All right, up to my little dude here. Oops. Oh, the buffering is really bad. I'm sorry about that, Alicia. It'll go up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish as well afterwards. All right, let's get this going. I suppose I needed a break. So in theory, this is the time that I should be cleaning the machine and everything too, but I think I'm going to just do that after I get it back on Saturday. But let's get a full bobbin at least. There, cruising! This 50 weight takes a long time to fill a bobbin. A lot fits on there. Oh, weird. My needle's still going a little bit, but I undid it, I thought. Hey, Patricia! So far, so good, except for I just ran out of bobbin. Almost done here. Got the pedal all the way down. There we go. Alrighty. Little interlude here. Tightening the wheel up again. Okay. Back at it. All right. Let's see if I can get this in without moving the table, which means I got to do it kind of by feel. Get that needle up. You're impatient when it comes to free motion quilting, and it's so hard on the back and shoulders. So that's what I'm a little worried about too. Oh, I really should clean this out. All right, I'm going to do a quick, we're going to take the brush here and we're going to just do a quick little shimmy around here. See if anything comes out. Oh yeah, we got a little fuzz. I'll do a more in-depth cleaning after I get it back on Saturday. Or yeah, after the dude fixes the belt. Haha, I got it. All right, let's re-thread this guy. Oh, that didn't take too long. A little intermission. Like I said, it was, at least we didn't sew for a whole, like 3 more blocks and not realize that we didn't have any thread. Okay, so let's just go backwards here just to get that bobbin thread up. Okay, we are back in business. Let's close up. All right, so we kind of left off way up here. So I'm just going to I'm going to do that thing where we don't back tack. I'm just going to do the thing where we start with the smallest itty bitty stitches for a little distance. And now we're going to go up to our normal distance. I had read that that's a different way to kind of lock the thread in place, and I kind of like that better than going back and forth. You've been doodling feathers on your desk blotter all day. Oh, Jenna, then you're ready to do some feather free motion quilting. It's a different mindset for me to think about drawing without lifting up my hand, like continuous lines like that, and getting out of a corner or something. That my brain is not thinking like that yet. So I'm hoping to get a little bit of, brain for that, I suppose. Okay, we're back here on the last one of this. Oh, we got time. We're going to do another row here, I think. You can't do feathers to save your life. I am sure there are tricks out there to get it down, and I'm determined to find them out. So we will definitely, at least once we get a handle on the basics, we'll definitely try a feather or two. I think feathers on these chevrons would be really pretty. Like you do one up here, and then it could start another one going the other way. Like I think that could be really pretty. Or a variation of a feather where it's kind of like a flower or leaves and then a flower up at the top or something. And I don't know. I think there's potential with these chevrons and that feather look. So I wanna try that. But yeah, I'm pretty positive I'm gonna have some pretty horrible looking feathers. But I'm kind of excited about that too. I'm excited about having some horrible feathers because then it'll be like, I like starting out bad because then I can see areas of improvement. So like if we have some really bad feathers, then we can analyze it. We can be like, oh, well, the angle that I'm going up this direction or whatever seems wrong. I should adjust that. Or man, they're all different sizes, these feathers. Maybe I should attempt to next feather to make them all the same size or something, I don't know what the deal is going to be, but I know they're probably not going to be good, and there'll be probably room for improvement. Oh, you finally got the hang of meandering. Oh, that's awesome. Teacher taught me to think of them as gingerbread men in shapes. Oh, that's cute. Oh, you've learned that they do the spine first and then kind of do all the little feather dudes. All right, we're coming back to the top of our quilt here again. So here's you can kind of get a sense of what we're doing here now. So we got those, and the next row is just connected to it. So in theory, if I hold this up, it's going to kind of look like our quilt. And that's why this method is kind of exciting. What about the scallop triangles? Ooh, where it's like bloop, bloop. Yeah, with the little, oh gosh, yeah, I would love to do that too. All right. Starting with the pile. I may have to, when we're done here tonight, because I'm going to need to move all this stuff on this table for a project tomorrow. But so I think before I do that, I think I am going to have to number my piles. Oh, I was going to try this backwards this time. Ugh, I'm a little too scared to do that still. I'm going to keep going in the one direction. Oh, and let me get you guys pointed at the machine again. Yeah, I think this will be perfect for that design, Patricia. I think that'll just be super pretty. And I'm sure I'll have to do some Googling and look stuff up, how to do certain things as I go here. But I think we'll have the time to do that. All right, line up the rest of this guy. Man, I'm so happy Apple was able to fix my phone and all in the same day. I thought I was going to be without my phone for like 2 weeks while they sent it in, and nothing of the sort. It's all fixed, all on the spot. But it still took all afternoon. Don't you hate when you have like a plan for the day and then that just gets thwarted and everything gets pushed back? Luckily the weather's been nice, so I think that's been making all these kind of mishaps not be such big deals lately. Just because it's starting to feel like spring. I think it is supposed to snow again, but man, it was mid-40s yesterday and kind of low 40s today, and man, it hasn't been like that since, you know, last year. So I don't know. I feel like I'm in a better mood lately. Not that I was in a bad mood, but things just don't set me off really the past few days. Things that probably would have normally. Here's another one that's not perfectly the same size. Oh, yeah, I don't remember if I finished this thought out loud, but yeah, I'm going to number my little stacks that I have, my 2 through 6 stacks. I have to make sure to number those before I get too far. How many do I have left here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm on the middle one. Because I'm going to have to move those, so yeah, I'll get confused which stack is which if I don't label them tonight. Yes, the birds are singing. Oh my gosh, I opened the window yesterday for a couple hours. I could hear snow dripping, like melting. I could hear birds. It was pretty amazing. So I need to be able to do that again. When I got outside to get the mail, I stood out there to look through it before coming in right away. That was new. You've gotten a foot of snow the last week. Oh, North Pole. Alaska. Yeah. We got that last week. Not a foot, but we got like 6 inches. My brother, who's at Mount Hood in Oregon, I posted yesterday. Some of you guys may have seen it in my Instagram stories. I don't know if you go over my Instagram. I'm Penguin and Fish on Instagram. So if you're not following me there, you should. But on the stories area, I posted my car with that snow on, and I said my car thinks it's Christmas out, and my brother direct messaged me back, and he's like, if that's what your car thinks, what does mine think? And he shared a photo of his car with literally 3 feet of snow. So when we get 6 inches of snow, he's getting 3 feet of snow all in one night. He said it took like 7 hours to dig it out. And he just got more, like the same amount. So he just cleaned it all off, and now he's digging it out again. Oh, you saw that, Robin? Yeah, I noticed after I posted that I spelled Christmas wrong, and I'm like, ugh, geez. But that's what you get from me on Sunday mornings. I don't apparently go back and check my spelling. Oh, you're starting to have pollen issues in St. Louis already. Ugh. First day of autumn there. Oh, man. Hopefully it's not so hot anymore, Jennifer. Hopefully you're getting that nice fall, like, comfy weather. We're probably at the stage where our weather is... Oh, no, in a month or so, we'll probably be at the stage that our weather's probably pretty similar. Oh, you can't figure Instagram out. Well, if you're there, you can do a search for penguin and fish, and I should pop up there. In the stories area, which is if my image pops up with that little ring around it, you can click it. Or if you go to the penguin and fish page and click the image of me, like my head by my name there, then the stories will start playing, what they call Instagram stories. And that's kind of where I put like little random stuff during the day, or I'm starting to do that a little bit more. And it just stays there for like 24 hours and then goes away. So it's more just like immediate happenings that I'm doing. So that's a kind of a fun place to see some of that stuff. But yeah, it's a whole other thing to learn and all that, that's for sure. I'm with you on that. There's always something new too. Okay. So I think, just because this might be a good stopping point, I think we might call it for the evening, just because I think we'll get pretty late if we do a whole nother row here. So I'm going to flip you guys around and we will take photos. I'll show you what this is looking like. So again, this is that kind of like web way of working, and I'll show you why it's so fun. So all right, I'm going to flip you guys around. Oh, thanks, Patricia. Patricia says my blocks are matching up so well. Well, if you look real close, then it's a little goofy, but I think I'm perfectly fine with where it's going. Ooh, let me snip the leader off the top here, but let me show you this now. So this is the benefit of doing it this way, because look, all my rows are kind of together, so you can get a sense of what this whole quilt is looking like. So kind of a fun way of doing this. So I will take a photo of this tonight, because you know when I'm holding up here it's a little hard to tell, but I will take a photo of it and you can kind of see. But look, there's a benefit to this. Your quilt is going to grow all together, all at once. So I'm digging it. I think this is a fun way to put a quilt together. I do think a whole quilt, it would get pretty dang bulky here pretty quick, but it has not been so bad. It was a lot less bulky than I thought it was going to be. And you know, I think one of the reasons is that I have my stacks kind of far away, so I'm not pushing my next piece of fabric off, off my table for some silly reason or something. It's kind of got more of a separation, but I don't know, maybe not. But it's been fun. So we'll keep doing it this way till we're done with these 5 rows, and then we'll decide, do we want to keep going this route for the rest of it. The other kind of fun thing about doing it this way is I don't actually have to ever cut these apart. I can just fold it over and start up the next row right away. Technically, so I could sew without trimming these apart the entire row together. See, I can sew those together. I'm not sure if I'll do that because I kind of want to press these first, but I don't know. We'll decide when we get further. But awesome! Thanks for letting me experiment and try that tonight. Guys, I think that was pretty fun. I haven't done that before. And we'll continue tomorrow. So this will go up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. And be sure to share what you're working on over in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. And I will be back here again at 8:30 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. So have a great night, everyone, or have a great day if you are in the future overseas. And I'll see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm doing the top half, Patricia, just because all the rows was just too much for my table to hold. So I'm gonna do kind of the top half, and then we'll do the bottom half afterwards. But that's it. So all right, see you guys tomorrow. Good night.